I'm willing to bet that if you watch this video all the way through, you are going to learn one mistake that you are currently making on your actuarial journey, or you're going to learn about a mistake that you have to avoid in the future when you start your actuarial journey. I'm Bria, an associate of the Society of Actuaries and leader of over 400 aspiring actuaries in the Actuary Accelerator Community. Now, the first big mistake that aspiring actuaries make is to underestimate the importance of relevant experience. It's extremely difficult to jump into the actuarial career without having any prior experience that is similar to what you'll be doing in your actuarial job. But many aspiring actuaries don't think that way. They know that they are skilled and knowledgeable enough to jump right into the career and get into the advanced actuarial work because they know they can handle it. But here's the problem. Actuarial employers don't know that you can handle it. So you need to give them some proof. So getting related experience is a great way to do that. Now, when I say get related experience, I don't mean necessarily that you have to go out and get an actuarial internship. Getting an actuarial internship would be the ideal way to get related experience, but it's not the only option. I actually encourage members of our Actuary Accelerator community to get a stepping stone position. Now, a stepping stone position is basically any type of job that is going to give you fairly similar skills and experience that actuarial employers are looking for. Sometimes a stepping stone position can even help you get an actuarial internship later on. Relevant experience gives you lots of things to talk about on your resume and during your interviews, and it will really help employers to see the value and the benefits that you can bring to their company. Think about it for a second. If you had to get a complex surgery, you have two options. You can either have the surgery done by someone that has done this exact same surgery 20 times in the past, or you can get the surgeon that has never done this surgery before. Which one would you choose? Well, most likely you are going to choose the surgeon that has done this 20 times before. And actuarial employers are in the same boat. They want someone that has similar experience. So the good news is that getting related experience isn't difficult. We've helped tons of members of the Actuary Accelerator community get actuarial internships and stepping stone jobs, and those positions have helped them to develop their skills and later go on to get actuarial positions. My stepping stone positions were in bookkeeping and database management, and then after those positions I went on to get an actuarial internship. Actually, two of them. The experience that I gained and that you would gain from getting related experience will probably make up the majority of what is on your resume, and it will give you lots of stuff to talk about during your interviews so that you can impress actuarial employers. Now, the second big mistake that aspiring actuaries make is to only take a course in Excel. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a while now, you already know the importance of learning Microsoft Excel. This is a big reason why we host Excel Ninja Challenges in our Actuary Accelerator community. But here's where many aspiring actuaries go wrong. They just take a course in Excel and then they stop. They assume that's enough, but it's not. Let me ask you this. Have you ever watched a video about how to do something? Maybe it was how to do a certain math problem, or maybe it was how to play a new board game. And as you are watching the video, everything made sense. But when you tried to either do that math problem yourself or you tried to play that board game, then you found yourself having to go back to the video and rewatch things several times. Has it happened to you? I know that happened to me all the time. The same thing happens when you take an Excel course. You can't be in your actuarial job going back to your Excel course constantly trying to figure out the formulas that you should be using in your actuarial job. You just can't do that. So that's why it's really important that you actually take the time to do some practice projects in Excel that will help you to start making the connections between the course and real world situations. It's going to make a huge difference on your resume. So the point here is that courses alone do not prove that you know Excel, and employers know that. That's why in the Actuary Accelerator community, we do offer an Excel course, but we also offer our members several different projects that will help them practice their Excel skills and apply them to real actuarial problems. You need to do that too. You need to take your course, but then actually practice your skills with projects. Okay, now let's move on to the third mistake that aspiring actuaries make, and that is to overcommit. I'm going to play out 3 different scenarios for you, and if you can relate to any of these different scenarios, then you are officially an overcommitted aspiring actuary. So, number 1, you have to find ways to study late at night. Maybe you're staying up to 11, 12, maybe even 1 in the morning trying to fit in all the studying that you need to do. And you probably just can't wait to go to bed because you're just so tired. Maybe you end up reading the same thing several times in a row because even though you're reading it or watching it, your brain brain just isn't comprehending. If that is you, then you are officially overcommitted. Now, another situation. If you are stalling out on your studying, you take a break from studying and maybe you don't actually end up picking up your studying again for weeks or maybe even months in a row. If that's you, you are overcommitted. Third situation. If you're struggling to balance time between work, school, family, and maybe you even feel guilty when you're not studying. The days are flying by so quickly. Well, if you are feeling like that, then you are overcommitted. Now, those are three very specific situations, and I was so guilty of these myself. In other videos, I have talked about how when I was studying for my actuarial exams, I was also trying to get in my schoolwork. I was working. I wanted to spend time with my boyfriend. I was playing soccer all the time, and I was trying to fit in time for the gym too. I just had so much going on. And now that I've helped tons of aspiring actuaries, I see that this is a common trend. It wasn't just me. So many aspiring actuaries are struggling with being overcommitted. So if you are one of them, just know that there are tons of resources in the Actuary Accelerator community that can really help with this. We believe that you can get an actuarial job in just 1 to 1.5 years and only spend about 3 hours per day doing it. That means that you have 21 hours to fit in other things that you need to do, like school and work, and you can fit in some more sleep, and you'll also have time to do other things that you enjoy. Now, I still have 2 more common actuarial mistakes to warn you about, but if this video has been helpful for you so far, would you please give it a thumbs up so that it can spread to more aspiring actuaries that need this advice? Thank you, I appreciate that so much. Okay, let's get into number 4. Now, number 4 is the exam hamster wheel. Now, this is a big problem, especially for people that don't consistently follow this channel or that don't get my regular actuary tips and advice emails. By the way, if you don't get those emails and you want to, make sure you go sign up for them. Down below in the description, I will leave a link to where you can go and sign up to get those. But basically, the exam hamster wheel basically means that you're focusing on passing exam after exam after exam. And that's not the way to impress employers. Yes, actuarial exams are important, but a few months ago, I did a study of 100 entry-level actuarial job postings, and I found that 50% of actuarial employers were perfectly fine with hiring someone with just 1 exam passed. Also, Emma, who I did an interview with several months ago on this channel, she got her first actuarial job with only 2 exams passed. So that means that you don't have to spend months and months and months consistently studying for actuarial exams. Instead, work on passing 1 or 2 exams, but also work on other things that are going to help you become a top actuarial candidate and gain other qualifications that are actually going to impress actuarial employers. Then once you start an actuarial job, you'll be able to get raises and bonuses for the exams you pass, and you might even get your exam fees and materials paid for. Okay, now the 5th big mistake that aspiring actuaries make is to wait forever to start. All the time I hear from aspiring actuaries that have been considering the actuarial career for months and sometimes even years. They're waiting to start, they're waiting for the perfect time, they're waiting to be ready. But here's the thing, the perfect time to start, the time when you feel ready, it sometimes never comes. Now, I'm not one to use metaphors very often, but let's think about a cat for a second. And by the way, I know many of you miss my cats jumping into my videos, so I will put some video of them right here. Now, my cats, Shadow and Aquila, love to play. Well, actually, one of them loves to play, that's Shadow. The other one just gets attacked, that's Aquila. So yesterday, my one cat, Shadow, he sneaks up behind Aquila, he hides behind an Amazon box, and he's waiting for the perfect moment to pounce when Aquila least expects it. He waits and he waits and he waits until the perfect time. But then someone rang the doorbell, Aquila ran to hide, and Shadow ran to look to see who was at the door. So you see what happened there? The perfect time for Shadow to pounce never actually came. He didn't get the chance to do what he wanted to do. And that happened because he was waiting for the perfect time. And this same thing sometimes happens for aspiring actuaries. They wait and wait and wait until this perfect time when it feels right, but sometimes that time never comes. And if it does, they've already delayed their actuarial career months or years into the future. By the time they start, they could have been way further along, and they often wish that they had started earlier. Besides, how many times have you gone ahead and done something even though you weren't quite ready yet? Maybe it was when you started to drive. It might have been a bit scary at first, maybe you weren't completely ready, but you went ahead and did it, and I'm sure you're glad that you did now. Or maybe it was when you went on that first date. Sometimes that can be scary, you can be nervous, maybe you're a bit anxious, but you did it, probably by now. And things are okay now. Like, you're probably glad that you did. So that's what aspiring actuaries need to do. They need to feel the fear and go for it anyway. The worst case scenario, if the actuarial career doesn't end up working out for some reason, which I'm really confident that it will if you work on becoming a top actuarial candidate, well, at least you grow as a person, you learn new skills, and you build up your professional qualifications. So even if it doesn't work out, there are still lots of good things that are going to come out of pursuing the career. Okay, so which of these 5 mistakes are you making, if any? Let me know down below in the comments. Or if there is another mistake that you've made that I didn't mention here, please put that down in the comments too, so that other aspiring actuaries can be aware of those mistakes that I didn't even mention. For me, the biggest mistake that I made was being overcommitted. I know for sure that this caused my actuarial journey to be longer than it needed to be. It was more stressful. It was way more difficult. And it's definitely something I wish now, looking back, that I had done differently. Okay, so now that you know all the mistakes that aspiring actuaries often make, it's also really important that you know what you're getting into once you do actually become an actuary. So if you feel like binge watching some more actuarial videos to help your career, make sure you go and check out this video next, because it is going to let you in on all the reasons why the actuarial career might not be right for you. It's a really great video to go and watch. So that's all for today. I will see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.